Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. I'm delighted to be joined by Shels captain Pearl Slattery ahead of the 2022 season. This is take two because the last one wasn't recorded, so my apologies about that.
No problem.
But I suppose, how are you looking forward to the new season ahead?
Yeah, look, we can't wait. Obviously, a great buzz coming off the back of last season, being champions so dramatically was brilliant. But that's gone now, and we're looking ahead now. We're in pre-season at the moment, and look, I think last year was a very competitive season. I think this year is going to be even more so. So look, we just want to compete. You know, we'll have the league, the FAI Cup, and we'll have Europe in between that as well, and just take it game by game. We won't get ahead of ourselves. We've Bow's first game of the season. That's our biggest focus. Try win those 3 points that are up for grabs, and we'll take it week by week as we've always done. But look, there's a brilliant buzz around the club since the last 2 years, especially after the back of last season. You know, special night in Tolka. But look, as players and staff, we're just buzzing to go. I think it's a 4 week countdown now, so it's just getting through pre-season with no injuries, full squad, and ready to go for Bow's on the 5th of March.
I think just in what you're saying, just to add on to it, it's just must be a great buzz at the moment between Shelbourne, between the women's national league, between the Irish national team, women's football in general. There's just a great buzz in the country right now surrounding, I suppose, women's football and Shelbourne as well as the club.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, look, the potential of the women's game around the world now has really grown. I think Ireland is no different with the women's national team and how well they've been doing, the sponsors that have come in, the equal pay, all those big developments, and the women's national league, the developments they're making with TG Cahar, you know, the sponsors, electricity, you know, days like today, you know, the women players are here with the men's, big things like that. The league is really developing, and I think it's getting more competitive every year. There's a great buzz, as you said, around the club, with the men's and the women's. You know, Duffer coming in, you know, you're back in the first division now, so you're going to have those big fixtures of a Friday night for the men's, and then look at us after winning it last year, you know, we'll be looking to compete again. So there is a brilliant buzz. We've got unbelievable support as well in the last 2 years by the fans at the club, and hopefully now we just keep on building on that.
Yeah, you mentioned before we realised the last one wasn't recording how the crowds have risen, you know, from 50s to 100s and stuff like that. There does just seem to be that, I suppose, resurgence in fans now after the pandemic and not getting to see a lot of football. And then we mentioned about the women's national team doing so well, and there's players playing in the league probably now have gone on, like Jamie Finn, who's done so well with Shels, and obviously has gone on to represent Ireland and was still playing for Ireland while playing for Shels and doing so well, that the fact is the quality is there in the league for fans maybe of the Irish women's national team to just come, and that's how we get fans into the National League stadium.
Yeah, well, look, as I mentioned to you, we've went from 40 to 50 at Tolka now to hundreds, and I think, you know, it wasn't probably the last game of the season or the cup final that built those fans. It was games early on throughout the season, last minute goals all season, and fans have started to trickle, and their ultras are now, you know, the club's ultras rather than the men's ultras, and stuff like that has just been massive. Having support, obviously having TG Carter there is brilliant for people to watch live games, but as many people we can get on seats at any of the women's national league games is important for the development of the league. And then, as you said, the quality of player in the league, the likes of Jamie Finn, who ended up getting a move. You know, you look at Sav of Galway, who was recently bought into the women's national team, and, you know, fought her own, went into a starting team, so it just shows the quality that's within our league. And yeah, look, there's many players I think that are, you know, I think we've a few in there at the moment, and there's a few more who could be in there, a lot of great youngsters coming up as well, so I think the quality as well in the league is definitely, you know, getting better every year. And as I said, I think it's going to be, last year was so competitive, and I think this year is going to be even more so. I think every game is going to be pure fight, pure, you know, you'll have to be on your game, especially us. We want to compete in every game. I think we'll have probably a little bit of a target now because you're champions. I think every champion does, but we won't shy away with that. But I said, look, we won't get too ahead of ourselves. We'll focus on Bow's, try win that game, and then we'll move on. Yeah,
as I said to you again, it was before we realised it wasn't recording the first time, but it's just, you know, when you have games where you're getting last minute winners, and that's exciting. That's what football fans want to feel, and as a Shels women's fan, I'm sure when they see the ball hitting the back of the net in the last couple of minutes, that's what it's all about. As a player, I'm sure that's what it's all about. There's nothing better than winning the game in the last minute and you're with your teammates and you're all celebrating with the fans.
Yeah, and I think last year was probably one of the most craziest seasons I've been involved in terms of late winners. And like, look, in fairness, TG Carter's been brilliant, but we've had League of Ireland TV, so a lot of people have been able to watch the games on that, which is massive. And I think being able to watch the games on that and then starting to realise, no, I want to get down and watch the games, because as you said, we had 2 or 3 games in Tolka where we'd scored in the dying seconds, and, you know, with big crowds at those games. I think every game that was dramatic, and I think people enjoyed watching us play
Absolute
as well.
limbs, yeah.
What?
Absolute limbs, yeah.
Yeah, so I think people enjoyed watching us play as well. And as I said, we've went from 40, 50 people, honestly, to 300-400 at our game. And I just hope now it continues. People continue to support this league, and not just us, get out and support the other teams as well, their supporters. I think that would be brilliant for the league.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I want to thank you for your time twice.
No
and
problem.
I wish you the best of luck for the season ahead. All right, thank you.
Thanks a million.